Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today, I need to get my day started. I am having a late start today, so we're just gonna put makeup on and chat. So I hope that's all right with you. Let's dive in. How is everyone? I can't get over how much better the lighting and the color trueness is with this new setup. I'm so excited, but how are you doing? I don't know how I'm doing. We survived a double retrograde. I've come to a lot of astrology realizations. I will say I'm probably not going to talk about products, but I will do a recap at the end. I wanted to pick out some products that I just haven't used as much lately, but I still love. And I'm going for a very, very simple look today because I am so luckily very light on meetings today for work, which gives me a chance to really dive into some things that require like peace and quiet and think time, really, because sometimes I feel like corporations don't understand that in certain positions. I won't say all. In certain positions, it requires time to like sit and think. And it just dawned on me this week really, that one, my job does require that. I do a lot of like process improvement, and when you're doing like process improvement, you have to like take in all the information about a current process, sit on it, think about how it impacts everybody, and then what is the best way to kind of zhuzh it and make it as good as it possibly can be for as many people as possible. And this ties into my like work-life balance that I've been talking about recently. And I never considered that think time to be something that needed to stay within kind of like the work part of that balance. I know that sounds silly to some of you, but it was like me in the shower thinking about a process, going to bed at night thinking about a process. And I'm really going to try to make sure I'm setting aside time during the workday for items like that rather than trying to do them, because I definitely think that that is a decent amount of what contributed to some of the overwhelm I was feeling at the end of last year. So that's really exciting that I've unlocked kind of a new way to handle something at work. But today's going to be, all that to say, today's going to be a think day, but I always show up so much more when I'm at least like slightly put together. So don't let the sweater and the jewelry fool you. I totally have a sleep romper on underneath this, but from the waist up, we're looking profesh, you know? Here we go. Frank's still in his overprotective era. Also, I'm not like double rubbing this in because I took a chunk out of my finger opening a box, which was like so bizarre. I was not expecting that to happen whatsoever. I'm just building this up a little bit on my cheeks. But I did get new nails, which has also helped contribute. Well, I should show you this hand. It's just like very abstract gold lines on a nude nail, and I shortened them quite a bit because while I wasn't feeling well and kind of going through the gigs that we've talked about a couple of times, I had to postpone my nail appointment, and even just waiting an extra week, my nails got so long and it was like hard to type. I was like doing one of these things, which I really only use these 4 fingers to type on the computer, but I'm pretty fast. This whole nail situation was just not good, especially because I have like one of those typewriter keyboards. So it was like especially difficult. And I like using this product with my fingers. So you know what? There's no rhyme or reason. We're just trying to pull it together today. Also, I'm trying to get into the habit of like when I'm in the mood to film, putting my face on, I'm just going to film it. There's no rhyme or reason, but I will try to always have somewhat of a theme and also wrap up the products at the end. And everything will be listed down below, per usual. I'm excited to like pull myself together, but these nails I'm very happy with. It's so nice to have short nails again. I don't know how some people do it. I'm just someone who can't ever quite adjust fully. I have not used this in so long. I was just making sure that it's not like gone off. This is why I've been leaning into that NARS, because like I don't have to do as much concealing with it. But I want to use these products again because it's been a hot minute, especially on my channel since I've worn the Kosas concealer. I have so much that I want to talk about. So I do think I've got a couple of videos coming up. We're going to take a slight break from favorites, although I really want to do body care and miscellaneous. Skincare is going to be somewhat boring because I have covered most of those products in some other type of video, whether it be like my monthly favorites or that angry skin video that I did. However, I do want to cover them just so that if someone is curious, if someone's new here, they can just go straight to that video and it kind of has the synopsis. And I think I've gotten some questions that I think will be really helpful information to share on some of those products that I love. So I do want to get that up before the end of January, but I need a break because those are no joke to film, like no joke at all. And they take a long time to film because the last one you saw an hour and 7 minutes of it. I had to skim through much more than that. Then writing the description box in itself is a lot, but I actually went through and like found links for everything, but I capped out the description box because I'm a baby YouTuber and didn't realize that I have to use a link shortener to fit it all in for a video like that. So I just need a break. It took so long to put that together, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you're still interested in like body care, miscellaneous, and I also have fashion favorites for the year, like the tippy top of the top that I would love to share with you so that you kind of know this year what I did. And then I also, in that same vein, I do want to do like a fashion recap because the way that I buy is not the same as a lot of people, especially on social media. I don't buy the same category all the time. Like this year was heavy emphasis on sweaters and some closed-toed shoe options. I'm not going to be buying a ton of sweaters and closed-toed shoes next year because I fulfilled that need, or like I got some athletic jackets and some athleisure. I'm not going to always spend money in that. So we're going to cover all of that. I need to prep my lips. It is so dry and cold. We got like, I think 2 to 3 inches of snow last night into today. Maybe I'll insert a picture. It's a winter wonderland in my office window, and it's so, I love it, but also it makes it so hard for me to get going in the morning because it's just, cold. And I don't want to have to strip down to change. And showering in the morning when it's this cold is like, I can't do it. I'll do like a lunch break shower and then shower again at night just to keep the warmth. Is this because it's cold? I'm having such a time getting this out. Interesting. As much as I use this product, I guess I don't use that much because I still have like that much product left. And I'll be honest, I don't know that I've ever paid attention to how long this is good for, and it doesn't have, oh, there we go. Expires in April of April of this year. It's 2023. That's a decently long-lasting product. I'm not going to get through it before April, though. This is very rambly. Sorry for those of you who wish for me to not be so rambly. This is a rambly one because I'm also trying to like start my day, talk myself into some sense, you know? But we had kind of an astrology discussion in the last Get Ready With Me. I've been diving really deep, and it was a new moon, not last night, but the night before, the 21st, new moon in Aquarius, I believe. And I dove into that and I wrote down what I want to release and setting my intentions essentially. And that mixed with some of the astrology stuff I've been reading and learning about, I've decided to just lean into what my current chart says, which is this period really until March 7th, for me is like a time of, it's not planning because it's not as rigid as that. It's like a time of going inward, and if you follow like 4 seasons planning or anything like that, winter really is about that, kind of like going inward, understanding, that's the word I'm looking for, understanding what my needs are, understanding how to plan the path forward. So you're not quite at planning yet, but you're leading up to that. You're just kind of understanding what it is that you want to release, what your intentions are. And so I'm leaning heavily into that right now. And I've been learning a lot about my current situation and where I want to go health-wise, because a lot of my intentions are surrounded around my mental health and my physical health, which are very, very tied together, very tied together. And it's been a rough couple of months, but we are going to change that and get ourselves together here. Sorry, I'm going to mix the Kosas with the Hindash today. I'm just curious. I've really mixed it mostly with NARS, and I'm just curious what it looks like with Kosas. I didn't go quite as skin tony as I did with the NARS. Skin tony, that's a new descriptor. Just saying. So this kind of going inward and figuring out my path forward kind of ties into how a lot of people view goals for, starting a new year. I have an idea of what I want those goals to be. I told you I'm like a word of the year girly. I don't know that I can commit fully to a word for the entire year. So I'm essentially going to let go of word of the year for the first time in quite a few years. And instead, I'm just going to really lean into astrology and my birth chart, because I know a decent amount about astrology and I am very familiar with my own birth chart, the placements anyway. But for a few years now, I've been wanting to kind of delve deeper and like become very knowledgeable in the history of astrology, how to read birth charts, and how to understand planetary placements throughout the year. And in one of my recent readings for this year, it did say that I need to give myself playtime, which that's how you can't tell me this stuff's not real. I have been needing playtime. While YouTube is playtime for me, the structure of it, because there is a structure, like if you want to continue doing YouTube, you have to have some amount of structure. And just like it's not even the structure that puts it in that category for me, it's the sitting in front of a screen. Like I need playtime that is screen free, and I'm sitting in front of a screen right now to make sure I'm recording right, and then editing takes a lot of hours of screen time. So I agree with that, and part of that me time and finding whimsy, I want to dedicate to the things that I've kind of pushed off my list for a while. And at the top of that list is astrology. I want to not finish because I'll never finish learning, but I want a dedicated time to learning, and I'm just going to start doing that in the morning, and hopefully that starts my day off for success, giving myself a little astrology study time, you know? Astrology is not the only thing I want to learn, and I think part of this journey this year for me, honestly, is going to be learning about healing physically and mentally, and just getting more in tune with my body and emotions and navigating all of that. I need to get back into reading. That's also something that I thoroughly enjoy, and I did a little better last year, like setting aside time for reading, and being in a book club with my friends definitely helped that. But this year we're going all in. And I just ordered off of Thrift Books a bunch of books, and they were only like $4 a piece, and they're in like new condition. So I will let you guys know if Thrift Books is legit and like new is what you would imagine it is. If so, I cannot wait, because books sometimes are really hard for me to justify spending on, the fiction especially. When it's something that I think that I'm going to reference often, I'm totally fine spending the money on it. But when it's like an entertainment book, there's very few entertainment type books that I ever pick up to read more than once. Honestly, I could probably only name a handful throughout my life that I've read more than once. I'm not one of those people that rewatches series or reread books. I need new, I guess, storylines. So I can't wait to get those books in and start kind of giving myself that time in the morning or in the evening. I'm so itchy. I was deep in the zone and I didn't talk at all while I was doing that, so sorry. I'm just feeling very renewed. And I don't know if it's because I put myself through, I'm going to say ritual, but don't come for me if you think that that's like taboo. People need to learn definitions of words, but I put myself through kind of a ritual of just setting aside time to really meditate on, think about what it is that I want to focus on for the next foreseeable future, and what I want to kind of release and let go of. And it was very different for me because I am a Virgo and a Virgo sun, and I really do enjoy lists and goals and all of that structure. And this was the first time I still put pen to paper, but it was in a way that wasn't like, you need to do all of this by this date. And it was a really helpful exercise. So if you think that that's something that would benefit you, I implore you to try it. I meditated with guided meditation, which the Chani Nicholas app has some of those. And that's the one I listened to, and it's geared towards like what she thinks is going to be most beneficial to you based on your birth chart at the time. And I got myself into a really good mood. I put on some music that made me really happy. And then I wrote down with different colored Sharpies because gotta make stationery fun. And then I folded it up. You gotta fold it towards you if you want to follow the ritual that I did, but I just folded it up, set it on my windowsill, and I let the new moon charge it, which that's where we're gonna get really woo-woo. If you're not into that, if that's blasphemous to you, sorry about it. I tried it, and it was like a fun little thing to just do for myself, honestly. But if you're not into that kind of thing, I would just say get yourself in a really good mood, really good headspace, and be honest with yourself. Sit down and think about what it is you want to focus on, maybe things that you want to move away from, and write it down. Turn it into an intention. So like I statements, and then you have pretty much your affirmations for like the next month built already. And it doesn't take that long. And it's nice to just unplug and do something like that. You guys, if I put this on the internet and people come for me, I'm not here for it, okay? You do what makes you comfortable and feel good about life. That's what I did, and it put me in a really good headspace, and I'm super happy about it. And it like rejuvenated. Like I can't tell you how much in a rut I've been, because I have not even done, like, on days where I had no meetings or like one meeting and didn't have a structured day, I did not get myself ready. I did not film. I did not clean or do the things that were kind of on my to-do list. And I feel so much more rejuvenated now. And a lot of that is because I, instead of distracting myself, which is something that I like to do because I like to keep busy, I kind of sat with it, and then I turned it into a more positive thing. And it was a game changer. So whether you believe in that kind of stuff or not, sometimes the action of, here's what it is, I think. We're getting really deep. No matter what you believe in, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's all how we perceive things. You can hear something that changed somebody's life and it does nothing for you. And then you hear it, same concept, different wording, from someone who believes something entirely different, and it's life-changing to you. Do you know what I mean? And I think that that's the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves when we're struggling with chronic health issues or mental health issues or just life stressors, and we're really struggling. It's doing the work of finding what resonates with you, because we all perceive things so differently. And right now, astrology is really resonating with me because I'm using it to understand, not to fight against what I'm feeling or tell myself that I shouldn't feel that way or shouldn't do these things, because we all know you should yourself. And instead, it's leaning into, what am I feeling right now? Let me dive into that deeper and understand, like, okay, if I've been feeling just really down and unable to kind of keep up with what I was doing 3 months ago, let me sit in that and understand, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up because I can't meet those standards that I had previously. What I'm going to do instead is meet myself where I'm at, and whatever that means, that's what we'll do. And like I said, we're not going to punish ourselves for that. We're going to embrace it, and we're going to figure out how this different type of energy that I have right now can best serve me. And instead of trying to be that productive, constant output person and fight against this and give myself tough love where I say, you're going to wake up at 6 and you're going to do this, this, and that, I'm going to meet my body and mind where it is and say, that's okay. We're not operating on the same level that we did before. Instead, when we're maybe at this lower energy level, it is time to be more introspective. It is time to give us think periods during the workday and kind of go with that flow and see what that output is like, because I guarantee you that output is going to be so much better than if you were to just grit your teeth and push through. And I do think that there are people on the internet that talk about this kind of thought process, but I will tell you that it never resonated with me until this last retrograde, and there's a lot of things that lead up to this. I've been following astrology for a long time. I've been in therapy on and off since I was 17, but the most recent stretch I've had here is literally, I've been in therapy since 2018 straight. And I just recently kind of stopped therapy for a few reasons. We can always talk about that if you want, but I think that that even follows the same principle. Taking a break from therapy kind of gave me that time to like think about it. I'm just in a moment in life where I need think time, and I'm going to embrace it. But it's a principle that a lot of people talk about. There's like a whole community of like anti-productivity people on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. But it really never resonated with me until this recent retrograde and feeling myself fighting the need to, it's not even the need to rest, because that's why that never resonated with me when people are like, give your body the rest that it needs. I still fought against that and saying, okay, well, my body needs this type of rest because I have these health conditions and I can't have that many down days because that's not acceptable to society. That's a whole other thing we can unpack. But it's not even that I need rest as in like, I guess because I have health issues, I think of rest as like those days where like your body just can't, or you have a migraine so bad that like nothing helps but sitting down or laying down with an ice pack and the lights off and no noise. That is not what it should be. If you are waiting for your body to shut down on you, you're pushing too hard. And I know that sounds so simple, but again, it didn't resonate with me until the last couple of months when it finally hit me. And it's kind of an amalgamation, is that the right word, of a lot of things happening this year or last year coming together. That work-life balance conversation I had with my mentor, conversations I've had with my manager, and then kind of the astrology stuff, kind of all coming together in a relatively short amount of time for the light bulb to go off. That sometimes rest for me, honestly, is going a little bit more introspective and spending time on things that I otherwise don't give my time to, and giving myself the space to understand that work that we do with our mind is just as powerful as tangible work that our output is what I'm saying. Being able to give something dedicated time to think through, not in an overthinking way, just like sitting with something. We might have to do another follow-up video to this, because this is one of the things I've always struggled with when people say like you need to sit with it. I think that's what I'm trying to say, is like I have finally unlocked that for myself, and it feels very empowering and I'm very happy about it. And this is the finished look. Let's run through some products. My nose is going to be red because I am incredibly itchy today for whatever reason. But my skin prep, same as always. But today I went in with the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer, broad spectrum SPF 20. This is chemical and physical protection. I love this. It really does make my skin look super nice. I'll come closer. I do have to make sure I'm hydrated underneath, but this does remain hydrating throughout the day. It's just not as hydrating as the Chantecaille, but it's definitely hydrating. I really like this product, and I think it's $29 something. Her price points are they're agreeable price points, you know. Then for concealer, I went in with the Kosas. I have just been so into the rose ink. I haven't been picking this up, and it does tend to go off like in 6 months for me. So I just need to give that more use, and I'm really happy with my skin. I haven't worn this kind of light of skin in a while. I've been really into the NARS, but I feel good. Then for bronzer, I went in with my Gucci bronzer. It's just my favorite. This color was just made for me. For brows, I only went in with the Kosas brow gel. And this is how I like this product. If I want a strong brown, I don't want to use a pencil, it's this. But I do prefer the structure of a pencil and a gel. But I do like that one for that. For blush, I went in with the Hindash Color Fluid in Heartist with a little bit of the Kosas mixed, and I really like that. I'm telling you, I can't put these down, which we'll get into in just a second. For powder, Westman Atelier is what I used. And then the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette, I used a combination of these two shades mixed all over the eye and up into the crease. And then topped that with this middle shade here as a topper, which I did very lightly. So on camera, it's just looking kind of ethereal and wet. But I do really like this palette. And then for eyeliner, I used Thorn from Hindash's Color Fluids. I've just really been enjoying using this to give myself a little bit of a flick, you know? Then for mascara, I used the Beautypie Uber Volume Boost in black. Cannot wait to use this up and open up the brown. I'm so excited. Then for highlight, actually, I used the Beautypie Pro Glow Perfect highlighting stick. This is in the shade Soft Moonlight. I think that this one was with the red carpet kit. My allergies are on one today. Anyway, this was in one of the Patti Dubroff kits. They've had this before. I really want them to bring a lot of those products from the kit in full time, but I do really like this. It is very elegant. It doesn't stay tacky. It looks very nice, just like skin. Like, as you can see, it's not like a wapow, but I didn't build it up. But I do like this so far. We'll continue to try to use it. I will edit the sneezes out, but man, these ones are like, there's force behind them. Anyway, for lips, Fitglow lip liner in Nude. It looks like I have not used this lip liner, but these things are so long. You get so much. I would be curious to stack the amount of product up against others. Maybe I'll pop that on the screen, but I've sharpened it quite a bit, and it is still like the size of a normal lip liner. And then for lips, I actually used the Auric Plush Ritual. This is Bare, the first shade she came out with. I do really love this. Even with the jade applicator, I need to wipe mine off, but the whole thing, we've never done the Auric video, but I do really like this product, and I do really like how moisturizing it is. You can see I've used quite a bit. I love this type of color. But those are the products I used. I'm really happy. This is a perfect face for kind of a low-key day. Want to feel put together, but I don't want to feel like I need to worry about my makeup. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go on to finish cleaning my office, have one more meeting today, and then sit down and bang out a paper and some documentation for work. So I hope that you're having a lovely day. This wasn't too woo-woo all over the place crazy, and I'll see you in the next one, and we will get back to yearly favorites very shortly. All right, bye.